Hey everybody, Real with Wes, day 4 coming at you. Hope everybody's doing well, and hope everybody's just having an awesome day. And of course, if not, man, I just pray God turn that around. Whatever you may be dealing with, experience, pray that God's favor and blessings are upon you to turn every situation around, to encourage, to be full of hope, to be full of expectation, to experience God's goodness today and every day. And I don't say that lightly. But just getting right into this today, talking about being informed. I want to be practical, just want to get right down the points here. I'm going to jump right into it. Being informed, and each one of these days are really meant to layer. Really, really important. So I encourage you to listen to every single day when you go through this to get this. I'm doing more of this is a little more hardline teaching, but I feel it's so important right now with so much information coming at us. It's realizing the information is a high premium, but the purity of that information, knowing how to handle that information, knowing how to hear it, to stay informed, but not to stay enraged, where it's always emotionally jarring you or pulling you a different direction. Why? Because if you can govern this thinking part with knowing what to do with information, sometimes information just needs to go straight in the garbage. Sometimes it's there's things to pick out of it and hear that you need to know and be well informed in the decision making and knowledgeable. That's about the Word of God. That's about everything. It's about hearing what you hear coming across the pulpits, hearing what you hear coming across the news, social media, knowing how to sift through that and navigate all those things, and knowing when to tune it out and when to pay attention. Today I want to talk about, though, and just finish up, it gets in your thinking, keeps your emotional levels high or low, and then ultimately affects your decision making, which affects your outcome in life. If you don't have good information, you're not going to have good decision making in all areas of life. So, day 4, know what to do with the information that you're getting. Now that we're collecting, making sure we get well-informed decisions, talking about how it makes us feel, having good boundaries, we need to know what to do with it. There's a statement, if you don't understand the purpose of something, abuse is inevitable. If you don't understand the context of that information and the application of that and in the intent it was said, lifting things out of context, you will take that and use it for a purpose that it was not intended. It can be weaponized. It can be used to injure people. It can be used to put yourself in bondage, by the way, if you don't understand its context. The Bible is done with this many, many times. Things are lifted and taken out of context, and we create bondage for people's lives. Bondage in the way we think. So it's important to know the purpose, know the context, know the intent, so you can know where it's applicable and not take it outside of its purpose. So important. Number 2, how are you filtering it? How are you receiving it? If everything in your filter and basis, we talk about switching from law to grace. If you filter all information by performance based, and you hear these things about God, and you're like, well, if I do good, I get good. I do bad, I get bad. You're going to operate everything from that basis. But when you can filter from understanding Jesus, filter from understanding grace, and filter all information, that's going to also flow to your marriage. That's going to flow to your job. It's going to flow to your kids. It's going to flow when you hear the news, the media, social media, all those things and interactions in life. When you understand flowing from your platform of grace, that's going to be so important. Understanding who God is, true God. You understand that God is God of love instead of wrath. Those are going to filter all your information. Of course, you got to recognize your own life, your backgrounds, your history, the things you've gone to. All that collectively adds up to how you receive things. And sometimes you got to recognize that, and maybe you're receiving things wrong, especially in your relationships, and step outside of that. So you need to know how you're receiving the information and know when maybe that needs to be challenged, when you need to reset that at times so you can receive things in a healthy way. What's that going to do? It's going to help you make better decisions and receive the information in the context and filter that information correctly. A third thing that I'll finish up with, and this is kind of a gist of how to filter some of those things. Where's the starting place? When you're using that information and understanding how to apply it, by the way, because there's one thing of just knowing a fact and then understanding the application of that fact. So it's one thing just to know something, but it's another thing to take it another level and understand and then have the wisdom of God of how to navigate and apply those things. It's part of it. But when you get into to help you filter things, am I doing this from a place of it's all about me? Self-centeredness will taint all information, even the best information in the world. When you're doing it with the motives of self-centeredness, which is fear, by the way, is what's behind that. When you do it from the self-preservation mode all the time, every bit of information is going to be tainted. I don't care how good or bad it is. If it's always about, let me look after me. So to get outside of that, so you can receive information and be well informed in a healthy way, in a healthy manner, you got to step outside yourself. Being empathetic, seeing others, being able to put yourself the best of your ability in their shoes, and being able to see it from different angles, and being open-minded is what that leads to, and being able to receive information correctly, and that way you'll know how to maximize it. But if you're self-centered too, you're also very closed-minded. It becomes very narrow-minded. Everything becomes very one-dimensional, and life doesn't work like that. People don't work like that. Situations are complex at times. They're layered is more what it is. How it affects this person or how it affects you. It's not just a one-shot answer many a time with information. So it's knowing I have to step outside myself with this information and operate from a place of servanthood instead of self-centeredness. And man, things will get a lot more clear, and you'll be able to sort through a lot more information coming at you. And what's it going to help? Healthier decision-making, healthier emotions, healthier thinking, and healthier results that impact people for the better, not the worst, all around you. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Hope you guys, once again, are having an awesome day. Hope that blessed your life, impacted you. Like I said, catch the other days this week, and then catch us tomorrow, of course, me tomorrow, Friday, to finish this thing off. But I hope these are some practical tools that help you balance information and live in God's best. All right, guys, catch you tomorrow.